You arrive at the beach and realize you were set up. There is no big announcement after all. What we have here is a good old-fashioned rivalry. It's true, exactly like the voice that we cannot hear and certainly aren't referencing says. We were forced to interrupt your lovely date by another killer. They are here and ready to make you an offer of love you won't be able to deny. What? Oh! Trapper emerges from the water. Is he in slow motion? He's pure thirst. He's Paul Newman on horseback. He's Denzel on the cover of GQ. Manly manliness brought to life. Also, was he holding his breath under there this whole time? Waiting for his cue? That's commitment to a bit if I've ever seen it. Heard you spent the day in a quaint cottage. That's cute. How about a quaint mansion? Or better yet, how about one on each continent? Yeah, I'm including Antarctica. I'm really, really rich. Think of how cozy we can get there in a snowy 10-bedroom chateau. One of those pools that is half indoor, half outdoor, but nice and warm throughout. That way you can kill a mama polar bear from the outside while watching her cubs cry over her body from the... Oh my gosh! Oh. From the inside! He's something special. Wow, Trapper is the real deal. And by real, I do mean really. And by deal, I mean evil. Plus, you really want to hunt for your food for the rest of your life? With me, you get it both ways. Savagery and someone to clean after you. Sounds nice, huh? Ugh. As if. I want mommy huntress. Life isn't for me, bro. I'm very impressed you can speak with implied quotation marks. Very cool. This guy's a total douche nozzle. Try hard much? He's like the turn of the century Pacific Northwest version of a Wall Street, bro. Trust me, it tracks. Patrick Bateman with a huge chip on his shoulder? You wouldn't go with him if he were brandishing a cleaver at you. Oh shit, he is. Given to anger. Thanks, but no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm into a quieter lifestyle. I relish my independence and don't need someone to wipe my butt for me. Ooh, tell 'em. Wait, what? Why did it kick me out? You run back to the huge arms of Huntress. She hugs you tight. So tight you think you feel the life leave your body for just a moment, but it hurts so good. You know what? I'm impressed that you stood up to me. I appreciate someone giving me their totally honest opinion, even if that opinion makes me want to carve out your liver. And the butt wiping comment? That's not what I mean by clean up after you, but I'm hiring someone to do that for me the moment I get home. Bruh. Trapper leaves and you turn to Huntress, walking in slow motion back into the water. It's pretty weird. He's just gonna stay in there all night. Shall we continue our date? Oh. Huntress leads you back to her cabin. You thought you'd remember the way, but it's like the forest has completely changed. Nothing is familiar. Better not get lost out here. Can you believe that guy? Classic Trapper. Pulling a move like that. I'm so glad you chose me, though. I don't think we've explored all there is between us yet. Hello. She winks a bunny mask eye and scoops you up onto her back. Whoa. Dang. Huntress runs through the woods. Was she like Edward Cullen? Huntress runs through the woods with you piggyback riding her. The wind ruffles your hair. Animals clear a path for mighty wood woman as she races by like the lead from that famous teen. Yes! The lead from the famous teen vampire drama in that scene where he calls her a spider monkey. Huntress is like, yeah. Whee! And eventually she gently lowers you to the ground and you take in your surroundings. A wooden clearing in the forest. Huntress prances about like a deer in a meadow. I like to come here sometimes to clear my head and hack up a few cute woodland creatures. Foxes are my favorite to slaughter. They think they are so cute and sly, but I see right through them. They're just assholes. Great with hot sauce. Huntress hears rustling and darts out to find its source, crouching down low like an animal. Now you're alone in the middle of the forest. Which way did you come from again? No idea. Your sense of direction is all off. A mellifluous voice floats through the air, landing upon your ears like syrupy honey. Come find me. Oh, read the instructions. What instructions? Oh, right. Okay, I'm ready. Oh.
Oh, let's move this again. Oh. Oh, it's so hard.
I know, I can barely see her, bro.
Oh, me dizzy.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Nope. Darn it. Sure, you're so good at hiding. I'm having a real blast. Thanks, they say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to get good. To get good at something. Who has 10,000 hours on DbD? Hey, they do say that. That was fun, huh? I keep trying to just relax and have a good time, but that's really hard for me. Anytime I let my guard down, something terrible happens. Like, what? Like, what about if we let our pants down? Oh, totally! No!
I'm sure I know what answer you want to say.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not, okay? Shut up. Like what? Sometimes I find young girls in the woods, little perfect angels that need my protection. But if I turn my back for a moment, they wind up dying. Oh, that got dark.
Yeah, that actually is a thing in her backstory.
Really?
Yeah, so like, she killed... Here, I'll explain it to you after.
Oh, okay. That got dark, but you feel like Huntress wouldn't admit this just to anyone. Oh look, Claudette and Dwight are back. Okay, we swear we are here for a good reason this time. Yeah, no one is manipulating us this time. It's just time for dinner. Come get some grub. Let's get that food. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No. You really are feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry. I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All that appetizing singles have arrived for dinner, including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we cram them all on the screen at the same time again, so just believe me, they're all here. They're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm so surprised that you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. However, since Wraith seems like the bigger long shot to the end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution in the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being least loved killer on Murderer's Island, but hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do, and heavens know they won't do any better than that. I'm sick of watching everyone else gorge themselves while I'm preoccupied with, you know, trying to get to the bottom of this never-ending nightmare. So tonight, none of that. I'm not really hungry anyway, so I say we just do a simple salad or something. The green kind, not the mayo kind. Mayo is gross. I'm fine with just lettuce. It doesn't have to be fancy. No iceberg, though. It has no nutritional value. Rip. Letting Wraith choose was a mistake. That's on all of us. Dinner will be served shortly, but certainly power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure, but how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there saying nothing. Nothing is not an option. Joke about having kids. Tell about your brush with death. Yeah. Today was nuts. We went to Hunter's secret cabin and killer crabs attacked us. It's true. I'll fall asleep tonight to the delicious sound of crunching crustaceans. That would never have happened on my yacht. I grind the much more satisfying way to kill crabs. At least those kind of crabs. I have a little comb for other kind. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they are all very tired. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's a dreary, supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica. Not a charming parody dating sim set in undisclosed tropical paradise. Bon appetit! Don't you mean bon? No, almost everything we serve has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. Impossible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety.
Oh my god.
When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate, and you take your napkin and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? Thank them. Your top-notch service is much appreciated. In fact, here, for us, just for doing our jobs, thank you kindly. Everyone, if you would please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit. We'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen. Something that will change everything. You can go willingly or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. Did you have a choice on how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good. Something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. I hope the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire. I mean, not my eyes. Because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving toward the fire pit. If only to get away from Wraith's complaining. Damn, he complains too much. Alright, probably only gonna do a little segment and then I'm gonna be it for me. Can finish tomorrow. All this talking is hurting my little voice. Okay. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell a story this time. Will narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to happen here. So nothing is probably not a great sign. Uh-oh. Oh, cool. And now everyone is looking at you. So, you know, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or we could play charades? Boggle? Oh, I think I know what's gonna happen. We were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points his spine and skull thingamajig at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing can do? Probably shoots lasers. Try not to bore us. We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up. I know that the fire is right here, but maybe if you stop talking about it all the time, you can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, you know, threaten to burn us alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Michelle was about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. Fine, I'll tell a story. I'm not a storytelling type. I thought we don't even remember anything. Sure, I'm game to tell a story. I hope it's a mystery. This boy just pops in and out. Okay, so what type of story do you want to tell? Romance, adventure, or action? What should we do?
I don't know.
Romance, adventure, and action. Let's do adventure. Alright, you like your Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies? How about some adventure? Now we're talking. It's not my favorite, but I respect your choice and will nod politely. You don't have to say that, Wraith. Just nod politely. Okay, ready? Here goes. I really like to go fishing. Solid hobby. Great foundation for a story, for sure. You pause. Everyone is waiting with bated breath. No pun intended. Oh wait, that's it. Not much of a story. Barely even a thought. My pun was better than that story. You sure that's all you have to say? No, you were kidding. No, I was just kidding. So what type of story do you want to tell? Romance, personal, or action? I thought we don't even remember anything about ourselves. Personal? I'll get a little personal now, if that's okay. Those types of tales are the best, and often the most sad. It's a bit of a love story. Is it about two strong hunters who meet when they both try to bludgeon the same Willy Wolverine? Or about a deranged killer who makes the only woman who ever believed in him witness a display of shocking violence? Not quite. It's about my parents. They met at a party in college. He was hosting and she's been dragged there by some friends. Oh. They couldn't even be more different, and yet, as the night went on, they were drawn to each other. She made fun of his taste in music, and he took an interest in her major, women's studies. They were married within 2 months. Bit soon to know if you can trust someone, don't you think? It's so sweet. Exactly. I learned a lot about love from them. If you know, you know. Some people don't need years to get acquainted with someone. Love could spark from a look across the campfire. Now you got their attention. Each killer is furiously attempting to catch your eye from across the fire pit. It's quite alarming, actually. Except for Trickster, who has headphones in and is loudly playing his own music to drown you out. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. Sorry, but the narrator keeps it real. We can't just end there. So who else would like to hear a story from the night? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. We already heard... Who should we listen to? Should we go Wraith? I mean, Huntress? Or Spirit? I don't really care about Trapper. Let's say listen to Spirit. I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but anything I say is sure to be better than whatever you get out of anyone else in this group. Like all good stories, I stole this from someone in the past too, who is dead now and can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride. Technically, I suppose the fiancé. One winter, a young couple decided that the next spring they would be married. The two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt so they could join in matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Per the last bridal trends, they decided to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful shabby chic farmhouse. Together they spent the months planning the details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figured out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. That's a lot. They chose lilikoi, by the way. So fancy. When it came time to figure out the decorations, however, the bride, or the fiancé, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, her boyfriend had been wearing a cargo shorts and open-toe sandals for pretty much their entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. Having to decide on such a lovely natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancée decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surrounded the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on the first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day she spent hours mapping out where the best blooms could be found and prepared to pick them herself the morning of the wedding, so they'd be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods, she surveyed. The bride, or the fiancé, since they had not yet been married, became obsessed with knowing just how many there were so that she could choose the absolute best. When the fateful morning of her big day finally came, the fiancé told her husband-to-be that she has one final errand before the wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in her beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers. Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came upon a familiar clearing, something was not as she expected. Somehow it was more beautiful now than it had been before, and just on the edge of her view was a new bush filled with blossoms so vibrant and colorful she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower, and every time she did, she noticed just further ahead and possibly even more beautiful blossoms. Carried by the sweet fragrance of spring air, the fiancé crept farther and farther into the woods until she turned a corner, stepped over a mossy, fallen tree trunk, and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least not how she remembered it. The flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying, falling from their stems into festering, moldy piles on the floor. Where bees have been, now flies buzzed. Where the scene of flowers had once intoxicated her, the odor of mildew now made her sick. She turned and looked back, but the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen she walked and walked and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancé was nowhere to be seen. Her friends, family, and love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest, but there were no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wandering looking for fresher blooms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a nerve-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are. Hey, what's up, Dark? Out there all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad, just like someone we know. How was story time? A lot of people like to take pot shots of sequels, but I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off of any individual installment and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Tell me, Michelle, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk gets in the way of a romantic Twilight moment. Dwight, I'm gonna need you to shut your yap trap. You know that we need to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on screen. Okay, you have fun tonight and try not to wink wink end up dead. It's going good. It's pretty funny, story and stuff. Why did you say the word wink wink out loud? And what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking, not since the accident. And you do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit, she really does not belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Did I hear somebody trash-talking Spirit? Deal me in. What do you say we take this talk to the hot tub so I can soak this bod while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes? Bruh. Please, enough talk of burns. Things that are lit are getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire. Must I be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could? Just you and me. How about no? On those spindly legs, you'd probably tired before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded Michelle is after, they should obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice, and it's completely logical. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting each other so that corporation can swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. Damn. I'll be sitting in the shade and drinking something locally sourced, but while thumbling through a public domain. I mean, true. Novella printed or on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on or just me? What? Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention along with the attention of everyone else is still on you, for the moment. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us, maybe we could all move on with our lives, or, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. Who will it be? Burning fire as a kid within a war. Yeah. He's been saying that the whole night. He don't like fire. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for the evening activity? I'm just saying, you may not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time on Murder's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either, but with this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster, because, ugh, that guy. This is a Huntress playthrough, so Huntress. You know, I had a feeling you'd pick me. You've got good taste, and I don't just say that because I'm considering eating you. Well then. Huntress licks her lips as she eyes you up and down. You're never felt like a literal piece of meat this much in your life before. What have you gotten yourself into? I don't know. Fuck, it's already 11. Let's go over to the bar. I'm going to make you something special.